Oh. He says, let me build it. Meaning the bottom of the sun can. He says, the bottom guy says, let me build the whole thing. Amalei Leslie Duckle. I don't have any place to stay. The made the base to dwell in it. Amalei on a Oga the Chod Duckle. I'll rent for a place. Amalei Lo Tarachna, because I'm not troubling myself for this. Amalei Locum is Mistarly. He's saying, but it says back to him, I can't dwell. I can't get into my house. Shovakor Aproska Baol. And he says back to them. Shovakor Kuiska Baol. Shovakor Kuiska Baol. Get on your stomach and go in. Go on your stomach and go out. Shofar Kuiska. Rashi says. Shofar must go bend down your height. Ad Kuiska until your stomach. Okay. The honey really the local matzah is kashur the matzah of the measar. Rashi says when is this? When is this? Is only when the beams don't reach down to 10, below 10. Avo matzah kashur the matzah measar, but if the beams reach down less than 10 matzah, normally the matzah miyot the shusa didi have it. This is less than 10. It's my shusa didi have is my rishus, because that's where I was supposed to dwell. So now you're in my rishus. The one mishtabelach and it's not mishabed to you, and you don't have the rights to it. But honey really do after the gabi does something they can stipulate to each other. I will after gabi does they sasri a bani, but when they stipulate each other, if my thing breaks down, then you can destroy it and rebuild it. But he asked them how the gabi had come, and when you stipulate with each other, how much can you able to just have to go down until you're able to break it. Amr the Vera Bonner says to me, the Rav in the name of Rav, in front of Rav, the Shemay the Mar, in front of in the name of Zotra. Rage of Nachman, the son of Nachman. The Amr Mishmei of Nachman says the name of Nachman, Kosh Shanim, like that would be shot. Ruma Kakatsi Yarko, as long as its height is like half of its length, the Kakatsi rough one half its width. So Rashi says, Kashuri is supposed to Leah once they get down the root beams of the attic down to the less than 10, it would be a problem, and you could break it down and rebuild it. Well, after that, they stipulated with each other. Kishakoko and Tipple the Leah that when they split that if the roof falls down, you have to run a bias, you've nailed it, it'll destroy the house and rebuild it. Yisra will destroy the house and rebuild it. Ad come until hello. Tash Leah does the roof has to go down. The second time is Rabbi Yikov at the Elyon and the bend the top one, this sort of the top this force the top guy to destroy the livnos and to rebuild it. Goes to Shanina like this that we taught in Brisa. Mocha Paris that when it's selling Paris that parak. Hamakabel of Mechaber when exception in terms of no slow bias to build a house. Also Rufo room because has the Yarko he makes its height like half its width, but got the rough one like half its length and half its width. Kibinian Hekel like the building of the Hekel. Shaya Arkom Arboim his that its length was 40, Barachov Esrim and its width was 20, the Gabal closer and its height was 20. It's tyrant. Amalu Rabbi says to them, Lav min lo tisli be buki v'sriki, don't hang on it empty flasks. Rab Nachman and Rab Nachman. Hochem Rab Nachman, here's what Rab Nachman says, Kindari inchi, like the dwelling of people. Kindari inchi is as people dwell. The Kaman, how much is that people dwell? Amr Rapuna buried them. Yeshua Rapuna says in the son of Yeshua says, Ki hesa the island is Suraisa in order enough to bring in a bundle. Hashas Kavil Khan Murukum, a bundle of long reeds. The Mechuzah Bahadri, and go around. Who got the Habakabe Bani Ashisa? There was this person who's building an Ashisa Achoi Be Kabe, building a wall. Achoi Kai the Chabre after behind the windows of his friends. Amle Kama Falsalai says you're darkening it on me. Amle Safarnalach Hakob Abinalach Koileo. I'll close it up over here and then I'll build it and I'll make it for you up above these windows up above. Miyashisa above my roof, above my wall. Amalei, come Marisle, they she say you're gonna weaken my wall because Rashi says the other atom looks other turns around to all the sides of this bundle, and then that's the amount of space that's needed according to the second version of the Nachman. So finally, I'll destroy it. I'll close it up over here. I'll close up your windows. And we talk about with stones, with tin and plaster. They have to look on me and open it for you up above me, close above my wall. The go back on the height of your roof of your wall. Colonus of other windows. Shehiru should light for you. Bba in your house. Kamar says she's like you're destroying my wall. It's possible colonus tenua when you open the windows you're gonna move the wall. Because you're chiseling into it, it's gonna move the wall and destroy it. Amalei Stefano Hakoba Vinaloch Helmet Shrisa. Amalei Kamar says she said. Amalei Sanaloch immediately she said and says I'll destroy for you your wall and until the place where the windows are supposed to be. And I'll build it. Vinaloch Koy and I'll make for you windows. Vinyana while building it. The El means she said above my wall. And therefore there's no whacking with the chisels. Because I'm gonna just pull off brick by brick and everything and we put it back on. Amalei Ashisa to tie Atika, a wall with the bottom one is old, El Fagas on the above it's new, Lo Kam is not going to stay. Amalei Sasanilach add the Aras, it will destroy it until the ground. And I'll build it. And I'll build to you windows in the height of it. Amalei Chadli Shisa Chadison says one new wall, Bekule based on the entire house of Tika, which is old. Lo Kaiman doesn't stay around. Amalei Sasanilach Lekule based says it'll destroy the whole house. And we need to rebuild it. Koi Bibinyana, the windows in the building. Amalei Leslie up to the Medabe, he says I don't have a place to stay. Amalei Agilach will rent you a place. Amalei he says I'm not traveling myself. Amalei Kam Bedin, Kamaakiv, he says Kam says Bedin, he can be Makiv. I'm saying I don't have a place to stay. Amalei Hainu Hach is the same thing. What do we do this again? You just said you can't force the guy to stay somewhere if he doesn't have a place to stay. Hakamashlam, but comes this teaches that's all the Glom Shtamish Elam Tiv Elam Tivna Mativ Even can only he's using it for grain and TV in general. Rashi says actually, let's go back to the beginning. The sign I'll destroy it to you. Miroshka with the wall from the top of it is the first suggestion. On top of that, to the place of the windows. I'll make for you. Lokim is not going to stay. Shane to the college and Nidbach Yafa Betin Yashana. The new plaster is not going to stick good with the old plaster. She has already dried up. The Komishamish from Batibativ, and the image all using it for Tizimatima. The Ain who Atzmu Darba, so if not himself dwelling in it. Mati Amalei Lo Matina Atarach the Hotia, he must be able to say that I'm not able to trouble myself to take out Ha'itim Batavan, the wood and the grain. So Tivna I guess is grain and TV I guess is wood. Hanu Big Trade, there was these two people. And still you can't say get out there, I'm gonna build the wall and I'll rent you a place. Even though it's not such a big deal because you're not living there anyway. Just have stuff. Hanu Big Trade, there was these two people after these two brothers, the Polygatali divided each other. Chadman me Matia Aspolida, the one had reached to him a palace, some sort of mansion or an outside room. Mekhan Matia Tarvita, one reached to him a grassy field in front of it. Also, who the Matia Tarvita came that the person who reached to him a grassy field. The Kabani Ashizi started building a wall. Apuma the Aspolida on the face of the mansion or whatever. Yeah, Aspolida. Rashi says Taraklan is a nice palace. Tarbitza Rash's Gina Shabbatzad attractness the garden which is on the side of the palace. Shahois Mir Latocha which will give lights inside of it. So you put on the face of that palace. Amalek, come up my palace place, says you've been darkening it for me, you're building this giant wall, closing up all the windows. Amalek the Medivka Beninu says on my own property I'm building. Amra my family says Bedin Amalek says with lies saying do it. Amalek Ravina Ravashi Ravina says Ravashi, Maishno Mehad the Tani, what's the difference in the Tani and the Brisa? Shnei Achim Shafalkum, two brothers which divide, Achim Hem not to the Karen. One bought a field which is a vineyard, Achim not so the loved one bought a grain field. Yesh lo lebal Karen Dal Amos, there is to the owner of the vineyard 4 Amos, so the loving into the field of the grain. Standing field. Shalmanas came focus on the condition they divided. Amli Hasan the Allah and Dali, Abu Hakal, there they paid for each other, so that's enough that the 4 you should be able to go for it. And Rashi says within Nafshai on the Medina, building on my own property, Bishalian Yibol, I'm building my own stuff. You don't have a established right, order of light. Shall Shalashanim of 3 years, the Hashtahu the Med Fulgino, because now we're dividing. Dalan Amos, 4 Amos, Labud is the camp of the service of the vineyard. Shahil Khorshan Osam Bishav Bishwan, they were plowing it with oxen. They paid for each other. Nothing about the camera, I started the owner of the field, many cases the owner of the field, woman of the grain field. Damim money, shall Yului Hakarem of the betterness of the vineyard. Hilka Karem by the Mishkal Imavadaso, therefore vineyard needs to take with the service them, which includes 4 amos into the grain field, so you can get his plow around. Abul Hafamai, the Gemara says back, but here what? The law didn't pay for each other, didn't pay for the rights that he needs to use his field, use his mansion. We're dealing with stupid people. The high shackle of Paspolita, this one takes a mansion, but high shackle Tarbit, and this one takes a garden. Although Allah is not paying for each other, the difference or whatever is needed. Amalei Noig Allah does the may live in the Bashuri Hudri. Granted that they paid for each other the value of the bricks and the beams and the boards, or the planing, I think is a different way, I'm not sure. The may of zero lo Allah but the value of the airspace he didn't pay for the air. When you say to them, originally you gave me a palace, you divided from me, I get a palace, you get that your grain field, and you pay for the difference. Idruna, now you've established you equated me to an Idruna, you've turned me down to an Idruna by having no light in there. In Dirona, I think it's some sort of like dark room. Amr Shim Bar Ashir Shim Bar says Shema Ba'alma Paula Glaze, and just the general name you divided to him, and it's still called a palace. Bahashta says Bahashta Idrona, now it's in Idrona. It's a dark room. Ani Amanasis Belida, but Nasati Lidam and I'm in condition for the getting an Aspolida. That's when I gave all the money to get the bricks and stuff. Shema Ba'alma, just the general name. It's Belida Shema. It's Belida is its name. The Appleby She'enu Kashar Aspolida is not like any other types of mansions. A little bit about the Shema doesn't lose its name. Tanya. Milo Tanya Dimula in the bright so base score offer and you walk along and says to him, I'm giving a base score of dirt I'm selling to you. Appleby She'enu Well, even though the real measure of the thing, base score is usually a measure of width or area. Even though it's only a lesser worth of area, they measure this area, I think, with grain and see how much grain you can plant. But anyway, the point is, it's an area, small area. It works because it's called the base guard. Shlomo, they just told him the name, and its name is the same thing. So once the name is right, that's all we need, even though it's not technically what you thought exactly. It says to him, that's what I meant. Al-Shema. Who the Misker base guard, and this has to be called the base guard for whatever reason. Hardest any Mochel says, vineyard I'm selling to you, after Shein Lobo, even though it's not, doesn't have any pomegranates, it still works, it's still good. Shlomo Shema, just told him the name. Who the Mitzvah parties, and this has to be called a parties. And that's why it gets. Karaman Yamophalos says, I'm telling you, vineyard, after Shein Bo, even though it doesn't have any vineyards, it works. Shlomo Chalo El Shema. Shema only told him the name of the vineyards. We're going to mix requirement. This is called a vineyard. Me dummy. Hasam. Kermani Machal, how much involved the Hanam, and give Shlomo Machal or Shmaba. Couldn't be come after Machal. Midam Hasam, Matyam, the air will say Machal, Lokaf, the Machal to the Lokaf, Shmaz Vina, he's saying a name I sold you, Hakam Matyam, I died to the Hafi Polyga. Here they will say that on this task I divided you, the ear no bay that I should dwell in Kihich the Daravas, just like the father told him. Amrulay said to him, and therefore you should be saying I won't have the right to a normal palace. Beis Korash says if you cheshbon the time about the Mishkan, like the value, like the amount of the calculation of a sign for the chesed of a Mishkan. Okay. Only my Yukul Makashisha, Bri, Drop, Professor, Yukul and the Makashisha, son of Professor, said Lir of Ashi, and Makashisha, Bri, because the said of Ashi, Nerdai. In Tamar Nerdai is according to reason, Dhamma of Nachman. So meaning, if therefore the question stands, why can't he say, I don't, you can't believe because I want the normal way that my father was living here. Nerdai, Samayo Zara is according to their reasoning. Rashi says, Rav Chama, the Nerdai, that's Rav Chama who's from Nerdai, Haya. The Lo Savile had the Dari Baker, the Dari Avos, it doesn't hold that you get, there's like you dwell the fathers. Moshem Kacham Kanu, and for this reason we divided it. The time they're going with the reason the Nerdai, the Amr Shmuel, the Havi, the Havi Nerdai, the Shmuel said, who was also from Nerdai. The Amr Nachman, Amr Shmuel, Ha'ach, and Shechoko, in the Hemel Derech Zeh, they Achim Shavai, they don't have a path for each other. Renata says, L'tzaf and Zes L'daram, and this one bought a field to the north, and this one bought it to the south. V'haya Aviv Raga Lios Lo, and the father was accustomed to have them, the Ikonos Derech Zu, to go inside this way, the Toch Zu, into this one, this field. Ein Yacholom Derech Li'alach, they can't say I have a path on you. They don't have a path on each other. They don't have windows on each other. Rashi's L'cholonos. I'll steam us to protest about the closing up of their light. V'lo sulamas they don't have a ladder on each other. So this one bought a house and a courtyard. This one bought an attic. Elo look for sulam can't set up a ladder in his field. This one the owl still have to go up to the roof. Not a flowing anamasamayim on each other. Rashi says, Lavium and Anai to bring from the river, the derech sadev through his field, shalzel till this one to the next one. You don't get that to bring from the amasamayim to this one. V'zdar behem shalachos kabul is saying you should be careful about them because they're sad halachos. Rav Amar, yesh lahem, Rav says there is to them. Oh. That they when partners do split, they get the original, they know assumed deals of like you're gonna give me, you get a derech, you get windows, you get a sulam, you can bring things. I'm assuming through my property. Who started Yasmin Nafgalet? There was a certain document of orphans, which Nafgalet top which came out on a receipt. Top. Amr of Chaim says, Agbelog Magbinala. To collect, you can't collect it. And Mikvelo Karina, to rip it up, we don't rip it up. Agbelog Magbinala to collect, we don't collect. Navik Tabra because it has on a receipt. Mikvelo Makarina, we rip it up, we don't rip it. The Lee Godly Yasmin, when you saw them grow up, Dilma Maisi, maybe they'll die. Maybe Maisi, they'll bring Raya. Amariland, they'll destroy it. Amalei Ravacha braid Ravula Ravina Ravacha son of Rav says Ravina Hilchos and my what's Allah Amalei Mekulu Allah Rafam with all them Allah like Rafama Lavar Mitaber aside from the Taber case inside of Bishak Vilom Sakina that the witnesses are false, we don't establish them, and we don't say that there's simply false witnesses on the receipt. Tabrash says Shover Shu Peru Laviam a Shover document which is says is paid to the fathers and Marley just weakens it, Shover. Maybe he'll come. We will bring a proof and destroy the shover. Shane A. Deshaka to prove that they're false witnesses, and therefore they should be paying. Therefore, in the first minute wasn't we don't rip it up. So back in the Gemara, but he says we don't assume they're established. Marzutrim braids verb Maryam Marzut son of Bar says Bahadami help us karma. In this case, also we assume not like Rav Karma. Zimbi says the Taber that if it's really true that there was a receipt, Ma'aliyah was a full proper receipt. Have Iboile the Fuke Bechayavun, he should have taken it out when the father's alive. But the law when the fact he didn't take it out, Shmamina Zayfi Zayf. What do you say that he forced it? Masi Sin Kovan also the notes by Beishar. We forced him to build a house for a gate, with Dallas and a court and a door, the chutzner for the courtyard. Rishon Gamliel says, Kol chatzers b'yos lebeishar, all courtyards are fitting for a gate. Kovanos the live knows the Yerachom and force him. Okay, Rash's local because Rishon Gamliel local chatzers b'yos lebeishar. Not all courtyards are fitting for a gate, and therefore we can't force all courtyards. We'll see which courtyards go. Kovanos the live knows the year. We will force for people in the city to build a wall with a delasime and doors, and and a post to go between the doors so it's locked. Presumably, a local yaris the risk. The phone not all cities are fitting for a wall. Kami behave how long should he be in the city? He should be like the people of the city to pay the tax towards these goals. Yud base 12 months. Kana bias he built in base a place of living. Harihu kanchi imiyadis like the people of the city immediately. Kofan also force him as ben a the people of the chatzar. Shane wrote to the Messiah has been a chatzar doesn't want to help the building of the chatzar knows to build. Beishar to build a place for. Oh, sorry. Okay, these went sideways. To build a gatehouse. Leo Shomer Pascal in order to guard the door. Yom Sham will sit there in shade. Marcus that's been named Shus Ram Milahatzitz but Chatzar and stop the people from the fear Shus Ram from getting into the Chatzar. But Delos on the door, the Shara Chatzar to the entrance of the Chatzar, Lenol to close it. Local Chatzar raised the Beishar, not all courts are fitting for a Beishar. Keep the Gemara Mefarish, Azu Hebrew, the Gemara explain which ones are fitting. Vihei Kan Shehir, like the people of the city, let's say Simon Behold to bear with them in the yoke. The name of the Beishar Mil Yusur is to say that a gatehouse is a good thing. Wahu Chasid, there was a certain Chasid have a Ragel Eliyahu that have Mishtay, there was that certain Chasid that Eliyahu would deal with them. Abu Beishar built a gatehouse. Mesula Mishtay behind him would no longer deal with them. Lokasha, Hamigavai, Hamimabrai, this is from the inside, it's not a question, it's from the inside and it's from the outside. Rashi says, and they wouldn't deal with him. Fisha Mavzik Baniya, Hatzolik, because he stops when they name which are crying out, Bain Kolam Nishra when their voice is not heard. Megavai from the inside, Lakatzer, Magriyosa, if it goes into Lakatzer to Griyosa, who, Lafisha Delis, Hatzolik, no, because the door of the courtyard is closed. The ani zoik, and the ani is crying out. Well, Beishar Shabafnim Mafsik Akol. And the Beishar on the inside is blocking the wall. So that's the one that if there's a Beishar with the door in front and then the Beishar on the inside, then that's going to be a problem, and Eliyahu is not going to talk to you. But from the outside, in a Mafsik with Bifanav, it's not going to stop the ani from getting in there. Sorry, Nichlas L'Chtov gets inside in that Beishar. Which ain't no Delos Skin, we're talking there's no door, so he just goes right inside. And that's the one that in the courtyard can force you to do. And then you put the shomer in there and everything will be fine. Another answer would be they're both on the outside. This one doesn't have a door, this one does have a door. This one do have a door. This one has a way to open it, a key. And this one doesn't have a way to open it, a key. Or you could say both of them do have a way to open it. This when the key is on the inside, and you can't get to it, you can't get through. This when the entrance is on the outside. This if it's on the outside, then you can open it and go out and go inside. Pasachas is a shirdered balaz, mushal eight, that's a wood thing. It always has the key inside of it, it's basically a door handle. Kovanos Limnos Beishar. We force him to build. Actually, Gimel says. Shimon Gamliel Omer. So me Avra and Shimon Gamliel Omer. Kovanos Limnos Beishar. We force him. So we force him to build a Beishar. Shimon Gamliel Omer says not all chutzes are fitting for a Beishar. Tanya Shimon Gamliel Omer. Shimon Gamliel says long kol chateres where the Beishar not all choirs are fitting for a gatehouse. And Lachad is Smukla, which is Ram, which is the Koya, which is next to it. So you have Ram, and then you gotta stop it. You gotta have a gatehouse to stop people getting in there. Wheeler Beisha, that's fitting for Beisha. Bisha ain't a room with Smukla, which is Ram, not next to just Ram. Ain't a Wheeler Beisha, not fitting for a gatehouse. Rabbanan say, Zimmer the Ochim, which is Ram, although sometimes the people which was Ram force their way in, and they come in. Sheinish which is not now. Shem Meshucha Lahal Mishazram, it's placed, it's dragged along from Mishazram, pushed away. Because Shem go, okay. Kovanos live in the city. We force people to build in the city for a wall, a door, and other things. Kovanos lives in the Simon Bria. Mishim Gamliel says, local areas not all cities are fitting for a wall. El Ira Smoke Sabra, a city which is next to the border. Where is not fitting for wall? Shan Smoke Sabra is not next to the border. Anywhere is not fitting for a wall. Rabban Zim the Makri, the Mikru, the guys, and sometimes it happens and he brings an army comes in. One minute Rabbi Lazar Yochanan asks a question. You're saying Govan the vegan Foshers Govan, when they collect according to the number of people there. That's how much each person pays the tax. But don't if you shove of Mammon Govan, or because according to the amount of money they make as you collect. Amalei the feed Mammon Govan says according to the money you collect. Velazar Bini Kava Babasurus says my son started up with his nails, make sure to hold this way, and you collect according to the amount of money for the city needs. We want to go for the wall of the city. And I think the reason is because in Tosfos says the reason is because it's a question of how much money is going to be taken if they get captured. We call them Masuros and he sent into walls. Hazar the zone can be careful to judge this way, but will tell them to not move away from it. Okay. Nikadam those that ask, one meeting Elazar Yochanan, brothers ask me when they collect according to how close the houses are. Is that how they collect? So then when the mom and go when they collect according to the money. Rashi says, Bakir Basan, base the fire of the house which is close to the wall, Sarah will is needed for the wall here, Yochim and Arafah, more than someone which is far, because they're first going to hit the first houses, and maybe eventually they're going to stop. And so the first houses are going to get hit the worst. Amen. Although the Mama Gomer is according to money they collect. Amalei the Fikir Batim Hingomer is according to the closest of the house they collect. The Lazmini cover my sons and the Laz my son started the nails. If you couldn't see Rama the Shura Adrabanan, if you couldn't placed I think the tax of the wall on the Rabbanan. from the Shurabon, Hitler Yasios Kol, he placed the Rashi, Hitler placed the payment for the wall, like here of the city, al Chacham, al Chacham, Kamosh al Shar, Bnei Adam, like other people. Omer, Amalei said to him, Rish Lakish, yeah, Rish Lakish said to him, Rabban, let's read on the two verses, the Rabban don't need protection from the wall. If Asaf from Michal, he says, speak over them like from more than the sand. You're going from sand, they're more. You're going there more. Asaf from the man, I'll count them. Sorry, not Asaf. Asaf is I'll count them. Michal, you're going from the sand, they're more. Asaf from the man, we're counting who? Ilam the tzaddikim. We were saying that tzaddikim as the first part of the pasuk is talking about tzaddikim. In the future, Michal, you're saying that they're more than sand. Hashtapuli Yisrael Fesibu, and now all of Israel says about them, Kechol, Shorasvasiyam, like the sand which is on the edge of the sea. A tzaddikim asking them, Mechol, Yerguna, the tzaddikim themselves should be more than the sand. The whole Israel is not more than the sand. Yergun. Ella, this must be what the same as happened my same, I'll speak over their actions. Shal tzaddikim am tzaddikim, Mechol Yergun, they'll be more than the sand. And it's a Kavachomer. Machol, and what the sand, Shemuat, Minyan Aliyam, which Shemag has a Shemua, which is very small. Magan Aliyam, may I say him? Okay. Machol, Shemuat, which was the coal, which is very small, and it's not as much as the Tzadikim's actions. Magan Aliyam protects against the sea. Masayim Shal Tzadikim, Shehem Group, and the actions of Tzadikim, which is very much more. Koshin is and Koshin, Shem Agin, Alayam, which protects them. He also looked at him, that Yocham came from Yochanam, they might time below, low table, how why don't you say to him from this? Anakoma, Vishadim, and Gedolis, I'm a wall in my chest, things are like towers. Anakoma is the Torah, I am a wall is a tower, Vishadim, of course, as Migdalim are like towers, Elutam, like Chacham is in terms of Chacham. Okay, so he already has Torah and Talmud Chacham already are walls. They don't need new ones. Rashi's Kol Shayim Muad, which is small, Mimasayim is less than their actions, the actions of Tzadikim. Shal Tzadikim was less than it still protects. Magin Aliyam protects from the sea. Vuhulo L'chomen is for those sea a wall. Kinitsiv Asher Sam Tichol Gam Kugabil Yam, as they placed those sand a border for the sea, and it stops the sea from going past.